the one that I'll be starting off with, and that will be nah.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. This is every xenolinguist's dream. I was helping with the planetary scans, and there are possible unknown structures on the surface. This could set my career up for life. The images are a little degraded coming through the atmosphere, but it looks like intentional and complex architecture, which means civilization, and civilization means language. Oh, man. And now most of the crew wants to get home. I understand that, but this could be a defining discovery. I'm definitely going to put a bug in Diana's ear about going to the surface so I can take a team to explore. I desperately hope this pans out. Oh, I can't wait till we get into communication range with Sol again. Layla and the kids would love to hear this. It's rough being away from them so long, but this might just make it worth it. I'll be able to give them so much more.
Now, first off, I don't really have a problem with this first PDA log. And I feel like the voice actor very accurately captures the mood. They sound exuberant. They sound ecstatic. Excitement is such a dull word. They really nailed that otherworldly possibility, this one thing that I've been so excited about my whole career. They did a really good job. That character's performance is absolutely believable. And you know what? Whew. Elliot sounds much more like a scientist than Sam or Robin do. So that leads me to believe that whoever wrote for Sam and Robin did not write these PDA logs. I believe it's a separate writer, because Elliot sounds like a scientist. Robin, Sam, they sound like high school teenagers that are talking on Twitter. Anyway, so that's a fairly good start, right? Mercury's flying around, and their reason is possible first contact, scientifical knowledge. Oh boy, this wonderful thing. It's not like with the Aurora, they had a submission. Hey, swing by 4546B and see if you can check on the Degassi, maybe. But the Mercury 2 was like, hey, we've got, scans and stuff. They had an actual reason to go there. Not sure what the Degassi's original reason. Why did they go? I don't know. I'll check up on that. But there's our first log. Not bad. Off to a promising start, I would actually have to say. Now, the second PDA log that I believe is in chronological order is Trusting My Instincts by Deanna. And the ship is still out in space. There's no damage. And this is when someone actually decides to visit the planet. And we'll be playing that one here.
My instincts are never wrong. Stefanos has always been overly cautious. He hates taking risks, which I suppose is understandable when you're in the back end of the galaxy. But no risk, no reward. Elliot finds evidence of alien architecture on a completely uncharted planet, and he expects me to ignore that? Orion's belt, I would be an absolute fool. We've done some scans, and while there aren't a lot of mineral resources on this planet, there is decent biodiversity. Teams go out in the morning. There should be a significant specimen and sample haul for biopatenting, which will be split among the crew as part of the Discovery Clause. Let's see Stefanos and everyone else complain when they have a few more Sol Transgov credits in their uniform pockets. They'll learn to trust my instincts at some point.
Okay. Alrighty, starting to get mixed feelings. First off, the good. I can buy Diana. Voice actor, comes across as an experienced, captain, leader, somebody in charge, a pilot, someone that has experience, leading others. I also I think it's cute, and you'll see this in further logs from Diana. Orion's belt, that's like a saying in the future, a cultural thing. Orion's belt would be, gnarly. It would be the equivalent of, like surfer language, radical. It's just basically, well, radical isn't necessarily made up, but you get what I'm saying. It's world building, and that's believable, and it's cute, and I like it. It's creating something to draw you in. But then we get the second part of the log, and this will tie into further logs. But she mentions there is decent biodiversity. And this is where, little alarms, well, not alarms, but little flags are going off in my mind, little tickles and itches. I'm like, wait a minute, biodiversity? I played Subnautica, and you got to think, these, the very earliest that this could have happened is at least 30 years ago. And that's due to the amount of rust and vegetation on the Mercury 2. And this is information from the wiki. This is intended, from the developers, from Unknown Worlds. Mercury 2 wreck happened at least 30 to 100 years ago. So that was at least 20 years before the Degassi got there. And there's been about at least 1,000 years where the Coral's been ravaging 4546b. So within that time frame, Mercury 2 showing up to 4546b, and I'm thinking to myself, what biodiversity? There is one biome on the entire planet that can sustain life that is not microscopic or ghost leviathan in the void, and that's the crater. And within the crater, the quote-unquote biodiversity that you'll find in the crater, is rich as it is, that's an ecosystem that is delicate and on the verge of destruction, and it is not representative of the planet's healthy ecological state. So this is questionable writing, but then again, we can chalk this up to Diana. This could be Diana seeing any amount of organic life on the planet, and just the fact that she found life on another planet, that could be incredible biodiversity. There's 3 different species on the planet. To her, boom, that's biodiversity. So at this point, it's like, it's a little bit suspicious, but we had a strong start. Let's see where this is going, right? Okay, all right, I'm with it. Now, the third PDA, Captain Badass, Diana. The captain, she safely lands the damaged ship. This PDA log is essentially the crash landing, the very first crash landing.
Sol should pay me more to lead these missions. I saved the whole damn crew from destruction. Mercury 2 was nearly obliterated by an immensely powerful energy beam. I don't know any weapon system with that level of capability. The power source to get that kind of range must be, well, otherworldly. We got lucky. The energy signature is similar to some of the weaponry meant to counter pirates on mining freighters. The refraction of the beam across the atmosphere? Orion's belt, it looked like the Northern Lights. Such power. I fired the emergency flares and dumped water from the nuclear core. I think the heat signature confused the weapons tracking for just an instant. I managed a slight evasive maneuver, and I felt the Mercury get rocked by the sonic boom as the nuclear runoff rapidly evaporated. That alone could have taken us out. Definitely asking for a pay raise. This is not what I signed up for. My days of risky missions should be behind me. But what the hell? I still got it. Even if it was luck. Hopefully, whatever didn't want us on the planet doesn't mind when we leave.
Once again, got good and bad things to say about this log. Now, first off, Diana sounds a little bit cocky. She claims responsibility for saving the whole crew, rather than teamwork and everyone working together. She saved the whole crew. She's a little confident and full of herself, and you know what? I like it. I like that because it's believable. It's a trait that I can find to be, that's the kind of trait you would take, or that the kind of trait that you would find in a good, capable captain.